Hey mathletes, so in this video we're going to look at one-variable inequalities. So an inequality is just like an equation, except instead of just having one solution, you have a solution set. Like all the numbers that are greater than or equal to -1. So 0, 1, 2, -0.99. These would all be parts of the solution set. So the basics, these are the inequality signs. The greater than or equal to is an arrow to the right with half an equal sign under it. To graph that, you're going to make a solid dot at your value and an arrow to the right. Less than or equal to is the same, except the arrow goes to the left with half an equal sign. A solid dot because it's going to include that number, and then an arrow to the left. If it's only greater than, it doesn't have half the equal sign, so it's an open circle. So if it's just less than -4, it starts at -4, but -4 is not included. So -4.1 is included, but -4 itself is not. So that's why it's an open circle when you graph it. So let's look at graphing the x less than -4. So we do want an open circle, because -4 itself is not included, and the arrow goes to the left, because it is less than. X greater than or equal to -1 means we're starting at -1, and we're going to fill that circle in because -1 is part of the solution set, and it's greater than, so we have an arrow that goes to the right. Now when we solve inequalities, we solve them just like we solve equations. If we see a +4, we know that we want to subtract 4 from both sides. If we see 3 times x, we know that we want to divide by 3. So in this case, x is greater than -4. So all the numbers that are greater than -4 are part of the solution set, but -4 itself is not. So we want an open circle at -4 and an arrow that goes to the right. So I only drew it this far, but since it's an arrow, it means it goes on for infinity. So 10 is included, 9 is included, 100 is included. Everything to the right of -4 on a number line is part of the solution set. Now there is one case that we need to be careful with. That's the inequality sign flip rule. So when we're solving an inequality and we have to multiply or divide by a negative, the sign is going to flip. So let's just solve this and see what happens. So instead of +2, we're going to subtract 2. So this means x divided by -3. So the opposite of divide is to multiply. So we're going to multiply both sides by -3. So that cancels out. Negative times a negative is +9. Since we multiplied by -3, this inequality is going to flip from greater than or equal to less than or equal to. So x is less than or equal to 9, so it's a closed circle, solid dot at 9. And since it's less than, the arrow is going to go to the left. So 9 counts, 8 counts, 7 counts, 8.2 counts, 9.1 is not part of the solution set. So 9 all the way down to -infinity is part of the solution set. Everything greater than 9 is not.